There are tons of radios on the market, including full-size, game-style, and even mid-size radios, and very rarely do manufacturers get it correct. But RadioMaster might have the perfect combination in the RadioMaster Pocket. So let's look at this and see why it's so special. Okay, so here it is, the RadioMaster Pocket, and this box here looks pretty amazing, guys, with this stealthy black lettering here, as well as the picture of the radio in the same kind of flat black print out on here. Now, the Pocket comes in two versions, both as a CC2500 as well as an Express LRS version. Today we have the Express LRS version, but I did highly consider getting the CC25 version, especially with these newer nano modules coming on the market, giving me the best of both worlds with this radio. Now, on the back here, you have all the specifications for this radio, and we'll talk about each one here when we go over the radio in general. So with that said, let's open this up and see what's inside. All right, this thing looks a lot smaller than I anticipated. Wow, you have this nice little felt bag here. This is a carrying case. And I'm glad they actually include this so you can store this if you want to and protect your investment. Besides that, you have, looks like, wow, a small screen protector right here, and that's to actually protect your screen. Besides that, you have some springs here to change the tension on your gimbals. That's cool that they include that in here. And then you have a USB-C to USB-A cable. It looks like a quality control card. You have a quick start guide, which is pretty nice here. It's very interesting to still see manuals on the market. And last but not least, you have some stickers in the box here, HTX, RadioMaster, pretty cool. Pull this open, let's take a look at this radio for the first time. All right, so here it is. Nothing else in here, pretty nice carrying case. We'll put this to the side here. And here it is, the Pocket. Wow, this thing has really good ergonomics, guys. This thing fits right in the palm of my hand. Now, I have pretty big hands, but I actually prefer smaller radios, hence the reason my daily driver was a game style radio. But this thing here fits the bill very, very well, guys. We'll see how this thing behaves once I use it for a few days and a few weeks and see if this is gonna be my new daily driver. Now, as you can see, this version here is the smoked color. This also comes from the factory as a colorless transparent color as well. And if you want to change it up, RadioMaster does give you the option to buy other colors in the future. Now, these cases are available. You just remove the front half and the back half, and you can change the color to whatever you want. Pretty nice touch. Now, as you can see, I'm going here for the gimbals here, but as you can see, there are no sticks on the gimbals here. So where the heck are they? Now, RadioMaster was pretty ingenious with this one here. They have these sticks in the back here on the grips of the radio. So you can just pull these out, and then you can screw them into the actual gimbals. Now, that's a pretty cool touch. As I said before, I like smaller radios, and I do a lot of traveling, guys, and having these stored away makes this even more compact and can actually protect your gimbals if you're gonna transfer these or travel with these. Now, the only downside about this is that you might wanna have some spares on hand, because I do suspect that these things are gonna get lost maybe once in a while, so it's good to have some extra spares. It would be nice if RadioMaster did include some extras in the box. Now, as far as the gimbals, these things feel pretty good. Now, these are not full-size gimbals by any means, but I'm kind of used to these shorter travel gimbals. And, you know, I'm not a gimbal snob. The right one here feels a little bit stiffer than I'm used to, but these are all fully adjustable with screws in the back here. You can just remove these and get access to the actual screws to adjust these. Now, the first thing I noticed here is this nice little screen on here. It's not the largest screen, but it is an appropriate size for this radio. And honestly, guys, you don't need a bigger screen than this, because pretty much we're using this to set up our models, and that's it. Typically, we have our goggles on and we can't even see the screen. So I do think this is the perfect screen for this, and this thing here is also backlit, so you can see this in even darker environments. Now, on top here, you have your antenna, which is foldable, which is good to make this radio very portable, as well as the ability to rotate to change your polarity when flying. Really, really cool design. This thing feels very sturdy, doesn't feel loose by any means. Besides that, you have a trainer port on top, as well as a USB-C port here, which we have this cable here for, and we can use that to update the firmware on this radio, as well as using this radio for a controller in your favorite simulator on the computer. Now, on top, you have a few switches on here. First, you have a momentary switch, as well as two latchable switches on top, and then you also have 2 3-position switches on here. Really, really good. Besides that, you have a rotary or a potentiometer right here, and you can rotate that. Now, there's no center point, but it is very, very notchy, has a lot of good resistance on it. Now on the front here, you have your two gimbals. We talked about them earlier, and these are Hall sensor gimbals, which is good for accuracy, precision, and also for longevity, guys. Really good that they have Hall sensors in a small, inexpensive radio. Besides that, we have a hook here for your lanyard. Now, I don't suspect you're gonna be using a lanyard with this radio. It's so small and so light, I doubt you'll need that. Now, below the hook for your lanyard, you do have this power button on here. We'll take a look at that once you put the batteries in this radio, as well as two trim switches on here. Now, these are a little bit different or departure from your traditional trim switches. This is like a 5D joystick. You can go left, right, up, and down, and you can actually select as well. Now, over here, you have your navigation buttons on here. You have your return, your page forward, page back, your telemetry button, and your system buttons. To the right here, you also have your model button, as well as a scroll wheel to move through your menu. Now in the center here, you have this nice speaker on here, and I want to see how loud this thing is going to be. Finally, on the bottom, you have your 3.5mm headphone jack, a USB-C port here for charging, and a micro SD card slot here. Now this one does have the card already in there. I'm not going to take it out. I was going to take it out, but usually that's all your contents in there as far as models or your scripts. Now on the back here, it's pretty simple and clean. You have these two rubberized grips on here. These feel really, really nice. And this gives you access to your battery compartments. You can pull them back, and here you go. You can put two 18650 batteries in here, which is a really good thing because some of the other radios have or use a smaller battery. So I have my two 18650 batteries right here. Let's just put them in because we will be powering this up very shortly. Looks good. Cool. Batteries are now in, and we also have the holes here for our Sticks 40 gimbals. Pretty nice. All right, finally we have our compartment right here. This is our external nano bay right here, and you can add accessories just like your Express LRS nano module or even Crossfire on here. Now I have a nano module right here that I did a recent review on. This is the Gemini nano module by Beta FPV. One of the first Gemini products on the market. And I'm gonna see if this will work on this radio as well, giving us Gemini in a small form factor. And as you can see, it fits pretty well. Nothing else left to do but to power this on and see how it looks. So let's hit this power button right here.
Welcome to HTX. Throttle warning.
Wow, okay, so the voice.
Switch warning.
Now, a couple things I noticed. This screen here is super bright, and this thing is semi-transparent, so you can see all the lights and colors in here, and you have this red color in here. The second thing I noticed was just how clear the speaker is. I don't know if they have it at the maximum right now, but one of the clearest sounding speakers I've ever heard in a radio. Let's see the system page right here. You have Express LRS. You also have games on here, guys. Really, really cool. Under tools, let's try it. There you go. It's gonna be hard to see this. I'm playing Pong right here. No, it's not the perfect thing. I don't even know why you would use this. Like, say you're on a plane maybe, you're bored, but you know, the refresh rate on this screen isn't the best. All right, so I return out of here. Let's see Tetris. Okay, there you go. Pretty cool, guys. All right, let's go to Express LRS. I want to see what they got on here. Packet rate, that's just pretty cool. We got 1000 hertz on here. Telemetry ratio, standard, switch mode wide, model match, 100. Now this one goes up to 250. Let's see if that's correct. 250. All right. So 10, 25, 50, 100, and 250. Now this is pretty good actually, guys. Now most Express LRS modules internally into your radio, they don't go above 250 unless there's a fan, and that kind of consumes a lot of power. So 250 is really not bad. It's actually really good. My daily driver goes up to only 100 milliwatts, and I never had any issues with that. So going to 250, that's a big improvement for me. And then we are on the latest. We have Express LRS 3.3.0, which is really, really good. All right, so I'm gonna power this off. I'm gonna put my external module in the back here and see if it powers up.
Welcome to HTX.
All right, here we go. We have lights, external module, system page, Express LRS. And there it is. It identified everything. So now we have Gemini in here, antenna mode. My power is at 50 milliwatts, which is good. And this all works. Awesome. Now I have Gemini on my external module, as well as, you know, 250 milliwatts on my internal module. So this is gonna be like the perfect setup here for me if I do want to travel. There you go, I can do that. So I'm gonna go to the Express LRS configurator. I'm gonna flash the latest firmware on here, put my binding phrase on here so this can bind to all my other radios in my fleet. So let's do that, and then we can try this out with a drone. Okay, we're here at the computer. I have my Pocket right here. I have it powered on, and I'm here in the system page. I also pulled up the Wi-Fi here, so now I'm gonna flash this via Wi-Fi. Unfortunately, there's no target in the Express LRS configurator at this time for the RadioMaster Pocket. At least I didn't see it. I did see the Zorro, unless there's the similar module in here, and it might be the similar module as the Zorro in here. But we are on Express LRS 3.3, which is the latest, so there's no need to update anyway. So I just went to the actual update page right here, and all I'm gonna do here is just put the binding phrase in here, and that should work. All right, we have telemetry. That should have been the beeper. I don't hear it. Let's arm this. It does arm. That connects. All right, let's go to the other drone here and see if my actual, I didn't try this one yet. Let's see if, let's go to the module, select model. That should put on my diversity or my Gemini. And let's see if this one works. That works. Woohoo! That works. All right. The reason why I'm plugging this fast because I don't have an antenna on my VTX and I don't want to blow this thing out. It both work, guys. It both work. Let's go back to the table and I'll give you my final thoughts on the RadioMaster Pocket. Okay, so we're back to the table and the RadioMaster Pocket did a pretty good job, guys. It bound both to my drones, both with the internal and the external module as well. Now, this thing here is pretty impressive. The size and the form factor is amazing. It fits right in the palm of my hand, guys. And the price is just really hard to beat. So having said that, who is the RadioMaster Pocket for? I can think of two pilots who could take advantage of this. Now, one, if you're a new pilot getting into the game and you want to get your first radio, then this is the perfect radio for you. It's not a big radio and it's not a really large commitment. This thing here is really inexpensive and it can work with your simulator on the computer. This thing has eLRS, which is good for low latency and really good penetration and range. Besides that, it's fully customizable. You can change the casing on here and there's a lot of support for these radios. Having said that, RadioMaster does have a good track record for making quality radios, so I don't think this will be any problem for a first-time pilot. Now, the second person would be a person like myself, a person who travels a lot, a person who really likes the small form factor in the radio. Me personally, as I said before, I have pretty large hands, but I do appreciate, and the way this thing here breaks down both with the antenna and with the sticks for the gimbal, it can be stored on the back here. Makes it the perfect radio, even with a carry case here. So for me personally, yes, I could probably afford a larger radio and a bigger, more expensive, more powerful radio, but my current daily driver goes up to only 100 watts. And this thing is a very similar form factor as far as size and can do just as much. So I'll be testing this throughout the next couple weeks and see if I like it and see if this is gonna be my new daily driver. Now, these things are very subjective. What might work for me may not work for you. A lot of guys like larger radios, something that they can hang around their neck. Some people like just the bigger screens on there. For me, the screens don't really mean much. As long as the radio can function and perform well, that's enough for me. Now, a lot of people think that this radio here is like a toy or like a beginner beginner radio. Honestly, guys, I do think that's the furthest thing from the truth. It may look like a toy. They may have the aesthetics, like, you know, all these bright colors for the casing, but internally it's well made, and this thing here, it feels substantial, guys. So Let me know what you think about the RadioMaster Pocket. Does this interest you? Is this radio just too small? Or maybe you just can't get behind the fact that it looks like a toy. Let me know what you think about this radio down in the comment section. Having said that, I'll leave links to all these products down below. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.